loves, welcome back to my channel. Today is video number 3 in the celebrity inspired series, and today's look is inspired by the amazingly gorgeous Deepika Padukone. So this is actually one of the looks she wore for her promotions for Chaapaak. So it's not a very super duper glam look, it's actually a very easy bronzy smoky eyes. And even though it's such a simple look, this look has been the biggest pain in my ass, and I can tell you that because this is the second time I have shot the entire video, hence the 1 week delay in posting this look. But yeah, I did shoot this before and it turned out that I had used a completely different shade of brown. When I first filmed it, it was a lot darker. It didn't look as warm as hers does in this picture right here. And so I reshot it today using a more pinky, warmer brown because that's basically what it looked like, and clearly because I was wrong the last time. But after filming today's look as well, it is still not the exact shade of brown that is used on her. In fact, I think what is used on her, after looking at this picture so zoomed in like 1,000 times, probably staring at it for an hour straight, it is some sort of a brown liquid shadow that is used all over her eyes because that shadow is in her crease as well. I don't know why you would put shimmer into your crease. I mean, I don't know what was happening here. But basically, this is what I have got. It is not the same brown as hers, but it is very similar. Definitely similar than what I did before this, which was this right here. It's still really nice. It's just not even close to what she has going on, which is why I decided not to post that and refilm the entire thing. So here it is. I hope you guys enjoy this and I hope you guys like what I have done. Please do, because oh my god, this has really been one of the most difficult ones. I have been rambling on, but anyways, let's get right into it. As always, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. Definitely hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a video from me, and do follow me on Instagram if you don't already, because I do a lot of mini tutorials and tips and tricks and things like that on there. It is a lot of fun over there, so definitely do follow me if you don't already. Let's start. So I already did my brows off camera. I kept them thick, dark and bold just like Deepika's, after which I moved on to my base and starting off with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer to fill in my pores. For my foundation and concealer, I'm using the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Foundation and Concealer. I wanted something super sheer and super luminous and dewy for this look because that's exactly what Deepika's base looks like. So this was the perfect pick for that. For this concealer though, the concealer is extremely sheer to medium coverage, which is why I figured the minimal I would need is to correct my dark circles and basically just the darkness on my face, for which I'm using this Hue Stick by Live Tinted. It's basically an orange corrector stick. It's in the shade Rise, and I'm just blending that out with the beauty blender to make sure the orange is not too stark. After that, I applied the concealer on my under eyes, making sure I generously coat it all over and down the bridge of my nose, just basically to also create dimension using this concealer. For the center of my face though, I used a concealer that was a lot lighter than my skin tone. As you can see, this is the Stay Naked concealer in the shade 40NN. So I basically just used that to ensure that the dimension that was created on my face was with these cream products, and just blending everything out with that same beauty blender. So it was at this point that I realized that after I actually blended out the Armani concealer, that even though I color corrected, it did not really give me the coverage that I wanted, especially on those inner corners of my eyes, which is why I went ahead and just in that part, I used my Tarte Shape Tape, which is my holy grail concealer. I absolutely love this concealer, and it basically gave me the coverage that I needed. Like you can see, just that much of that concealer, and it did the job like I wanted. Setting everything now, I'm using the All Nighter setting powder from Urban Decay, and I've noticed that whenever I tilt my head down and set the powder, pat that powder into my under eyes. It really helps lessen and limit that creasing. So this is definitely something I think all of you should try. So I'm just basically patting that powder. You don't want to swipe, just pat that powder wherever you've applied the concealer to nicely set it. And after which I went ahead and applied my last cream product, which is the Matchstick by Fenty Beauty. This is basically just to ensure eye contour as well as bronze, because let's be honest, this is a very warm stick to be able to call it a contour stick. But I just like the warmth and the color it brings to my face. And I'm just blending everything out. Just make sure though that when you blend everything, especially towards the outer corners of your face, into your hairline, just so it looks very natural. And before I move on to using any more powder products, I decided to set my entire face with the All Nighter setting spray. This just makes sure that all the cream products set into your skin really well. Moving on to bronzing and enhancing that contour further, I'm using the High Glass setting bronzing powder in the shade Deep. This is basically a shimmer powder, and it usually shouldn't be used to contour but rather be used to bronze your face, which is exactly what I'm doing. And this will also enhance the luminosity in the face that we need. For my blush, I'm using these two shades, more of the peach, of course, because that's what Deepika has going on, and I'm just applying it more on the apples of my cheek and then pulling it towards my temples. Moving on to my eyes, I'm using the Huda Beauty Nude palette in the shade Rich, and I'm using those two shades, basically starting off with the lighter one in my crease and just bringing it down into the outer corner of my eye as well. After which, I'm using that darker shade to just apply it all over my eyes. You just don't need to be super neat with this. Just make sure that you have an even base on your eye of this color. And I'm just using a blending brush to do that, just basically making sure there are no harsh edges. It's a smoky eye after all. And then just taking that same eyeshadow and applying it to my under eyes as well. Next, I'm using this amazing Super Shock shadow from Colourpop in the shade Nillionaire, and I'm just using my finger to apply it all over my eyes. So remember when I said she had it in her crease as well? I really could not get myself to apply this in my crease because I know it would just not look right on me. So I ended up just applying it to my eyes, and then I'm just softening the outer corners and the edges with the same blending brush. After which I went ahead and applied that same eyeshadow, the Nillionaire eyeshadow, on my under eyes as well, because that's exactly what she has going on. For the eyeliner, I'm using my favorite Epic Ink liner. Now she has an eyeliner that is like a barely there, like a tiniest flick, and I think that was done because in general Deepika, like me, has droopy eyes, so she was given this like tiny ass flick just basically to lift her eyes up. So just make sure it's very thin, and you don't want any eyeliner on the inner corner of your eyes at all. You want to kind of start your liner where your lashes start and nothing towards the inner corner at all. And we're done with the eyes, finally just ending with these barely there lashes, because she is wearing lashes as well, but again something that is super natural. Moving on to the lips, which is the final part of this look, I am just lining my lips with this brown lip liner and then just making sure to kind of fill it in on the outer corners to give the lips a really nice dimension. After which I'm using this matte lipstick from Nykaa in the shade Bombay. This also is a new buy from when I visited India, and I'm just applying that literally all over the lips. It's such a beautiful everyday shade. And then to kind of give that glossy effect that Deepika has going on, I'm using this gloss balm from L'Oreal. After which I completely forgot about the highlighter. Her highlighter in this look is very diffused. It's not like a 1 point super shiny highlighter happening at all, which is why I'm just applying it all over where she has the highlighter going on. She has a very strong one going on under her brow bones and on her nose. And once I was done applying that, like we said, we wanted it diffused, I just kind of ran my beauty blender over the highlighter to give that effect. And we're done, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and definitely do let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.